The reason your mindset glow up isn't working isn't because of what you're doing, but how disciplined you are doing it. If you're wanting to change your life and change yourself into the better version of yourself, discipline is what you need to work on. Hi everyone, my name is Gigi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about why those mindset tips that you see online aren't working for you, and how slightly tweaking what you think about glowing up your mindset and discipline will actually help you towards becoming a better version of yourself. It is so easy to look at videos online, read self-help books, and think that you know it all. You simply have to do the things that they say and carry it out a few times and boom, you're fixed. You've healed yourself. But that is not the truth. The truth is that healing lies within repetition. Day in and day out, completing the same tasks, doing the same things, and healing yourself day by day. But what if day by day you don't continue to do what these videos and self-help books say? What if by the third, the fourth, the fifth day, you've already given up? You say that you fail, that you're not good enough, you're not at the right point in your life, that it's too difficult, that it's not worth the effort. You'll say the videos were a scam, the books were a waste of money, and you feel like you failed. But that doesn't actually mean you failed. In fact, it just means you're not disciplined enough. You can have all the tools in the world to become a better version of yourself, but if you don't have the discipline to keep going with those tools, you will not succeed in becoming the better version of yourself. That's why in this whole healing journey, it is so important to not only practice things that are going to heal you, but practice habits that's going to build discipline. Because while building habits on how to love yourself more, how to be more confident, discipline is the glue that holds it all together so it doesn't fall apart. Firstly, you're going to reframe the glow up. A lot of the time, the word glow up, the idea of making yourself into a better version, often scares people away. And the reason for this is that people think that they have to have this massive outward glow up so everyone can see that everything they do is some big movement that makes them into a better person every single day. But the entire process is some sort of aesthetically pleasing video that you see online, but that is not the case. When you are internally healing and internally glowing up, it's not going to be pretty. It's not all lighting candles and cheerful music or soothing music in the background of a video. It's not a highly edited process. Figuring out who you are internally and fixing what you need to heal inside is a scary process, and it's an ugly process. You're going to go through days where you feel great and then days where you feel the worst, where you're angry at yourself, when you're disappointed at yourself. That is not some aesthetic process. You're not becoming someone totally different. You're not trying to be a completely different person because you value other people above yourself. You're building on who you are already. That means understanding yourself currently. That whole process is not painted pink with sparkles and flowers. So don't expect just because your glow up isn't some magical process that it's not working and it's not right for you. And it's so incredibly important to remember that motivation is not enough. Motivation is a feeling just like happiness or sadness or anger. Motivation can come and it can go, which means you need to rely on building your skill of discipline to get you through this process. Because when motivation dies, when motivation is replaced by sadness or anger, what is going to carry you through all of these habits that you need to do every single day to become a better version of yourself? Your identity is down to your values and your habits align with your values. Every habit you have in your everyday routine is a direct link to who you are and your identity. So it's incredibly important to understand that everything that you do directly links to who you want to be. So if you feel like you're not aligned with who you are at the moment, it is so important to look at what you're doing every single day. What tasks are you doing? What habits do you have? And if they don't align with who you want to be, it's time to change those habits. If you want to be a healthy person, but your habits more align with you don't go to the gym, you don't eat healthy, you lie in bed all day, you don't even open your curtains, you're not doing habits that align with the version of yourself you want to be. Now, it is so easy to wake up every day and think, well, I don't want to put effort in. I'm too tired, I'm too lazy, I'm too sick, I do this all the time, I just need some rest. If you truly want to change and you know that these things are non-negotiable, non-negotiables, that these habits have to be done every single day to change who you are. And if you truly want to change, you will do them. No matter how tired you are, no matter how sick you are, no matter how much pain you're in, you will do them. Because if you want to change, you will. And that is where the discipline comes in, because motivation to do these things will die as soon as you get that first pain, as soon as you feel a bit lazy. But if you are more disciplined, you will continue to do those habits that you need to do to become a better version, because you know you have to. Nothing else is going to take over. No other feeling is going to take over. And the first shift starts with how you speak to yourself. How do you identify yourself? What words do you use towards yourself? You have to remember the most important person to yourself is you. So if you're someone that constantly says to yourself, well, I don't work out, I don't eat healthy, I'm bad with money, I can't save, I can't do this, I can't do that, you are redefining yourself every single day as someone who has those bad habits, who has those bad behaviors. So if you simply start with changing what you say to yourself, how you call yourself, how you speak to yourself, the changes will already start to happen. You'll go from someone who says, I don't work out, I don't move a lot, I stay in bed all day, to someone who says, I go to the gym, I go for daily walks, I love moving my body. You'll go from someone who says, I'm bad with money, I'm constantly spending, I can't save anything, to someone who loves saving money, who enjoys saving up for things that they like, who is financially responsible with their money. It is something so simple as just correcting yourself when you speak bad towards yourself. But you will not believe how powerful just doing that is. That beginning step of just speaking better about yourself is what's going to push you forward towards all of these better habits. It's going to help you through the entire process of becoming a better version of yourself, because as soon as you start speaking better about yourself, you will have the discipline to push yourself forward towards getting through all these other habits. The first thing you're going to do is build self-trust. Now this might sound like a massive step, like it's something impossible, but building self-trust is actually quite an easy process when you break it down. All you're going to do is every single day make a little promise to yourself. And this is something that you can do in maybe 5 or 10 minutes out of your day. These are just really small little tasks, such as making your bed in the morning, making sure to eat at least 1 apple a day, brushing your teeth, making sure you brush your hair, stepping outside for at least 5 minutes to have some fresh air. It doesn't have to be something super productive. It doesn't have to be something life-changing. Just something that you can do that you know you can perform for yourself, that you know you can fulfill that promise to yourself to build that self-trust. This first habit of doing the things that you say you are going to do for yourself is building your self-trust. And the more you keep these promises to yourself and you fulfill these tasks that you say you are going to do, the more trust you're going to build with yourself. And this is important because going forward, if you have more self-trust, you know you can complete these tasks you're setting out for yourself, no matter how small or no matter how big they are. So just by doing this small step every single day, this small habit, you're already setting yourself up for so much more. And it's literally doing 5 minutes of something for yourself every single day. The second habit is to build yourself a solid routine. We're talking waking up at the same time every day. We're talking doing the same things in the exact same order, grouping habits you find difficult to do with habits you know you have to do in your routine. For example, maybe if you struggle with making your bed, you say to yourself you can't go brush your teeth until you've made your bed. Or saying to yourself you can't go to work without making sure you've brushed your hair. Grouping together habits will actually help you perform your tasks you need to do. Tasks that you struggled with before become so much easier because they don't become a singular task you hate, but more part of a process of tasks you need to complete. You'll find that the more structured your routine is, the more you know each step of your routine, the easier it will become, the simpler your life will feel. And you won't feel like each step is difficult because you know what's coming, you've done it before, and you won't get mixed up. Think of it as reorganizing your brain, teaching your brain that each step comes after the other. and that your whole morning or your whole day is going to flow because you know what you're doing, rather than feeling like you're scrambling to do the next thing because you don't know what it is. Habit 3 is to act. A lot of the time we get so caught up in our feelings, our anxieties behind doing something, and our feelings is what holds us back. How many times have you gone to do something and then suddenly withdrawn because you've gotten too anxious or you don't feel confident anymore? You've thought too much about it and suddenly you cannot perform that task. So instead of waiting for the moment to feel right, instead of waiting for a feeling to get the okay that you can do something, why don't you just do it? Instead of waiting for the right time, you make it the right time. The feelings will come after the action, so perform, act. If you know you need to do something to complete your tasks that day, do it. If you know you need to do something that day, do it. If you know you need to do something that day and it's so important you do it, and then you start thinking too much about it, you don't know how it's going to go, you're feeling really anxious, stop and do it before you get to that point. If you know waiting in the house is going to make you anxious before you do something, leave early. Get yourself out the house, get yourself into fresh air, remove yourself from that environment where you know you're going to overthink. You know it's going to make you overthink every single step. It's going to make you anxious, it's going to make you doubt yourself. You're not waiting to feel disciplined. You're not waiting to feel motivation. You're doing the action to feel disciplined, to feel motivated. That is the difference. The difference is waiting to feel something versus doing it to feel something. Habit 4, which can be particularly difficult, is removing behaviors from your routine, habits from your routine that you know is draining your energy. We're talking habits like doom scrolling on social media, venting out your problems rather than finding ways to solve them, making your downfalls your whole identity because that's just how you are. Any of these habits that you've picked up that are going to continue every single day, identify them and then cut them out. If scrolling on social media for hours is causing you to miss out on opportunities, cut it out. If constantly calling up your friends and telling them about all the bad things that have happened to you that day and how angry you are, how upset you are, is causing you to do that every single day because it becomes a habit of yours, cut it out. If it's natural for you to walk up to a mirror and look at everything that you hate about yourself rather than love about yourself, cut it out. Any behaviors, and I mean anything, even if it's something tiny that you have identified that aren't aiding you into a better person, cut them out. Remember, the habits you perform are your identity. So if you're sitting here saying you want to be a better person, you want to be confident, you want to be a happy person, but you're still performing the same bad habits every single day, no, you do not. You do not want to be a happy person or a confident person or a better version of yourself. You have to be strict with yourself. You have to be disciplined with yourself. You have to be harsh. Healing yourself is an easy process, and you have to be harsh on yourself with what you're doing. You're not a bad person, but you're just so used to these old habits. You're so loyal to the person you used to be that removing those habits, that doing something different is so scary, but you have to get over that. You have to get over that feeling of anxiety of not knowing. Otherwise, you're going to continue in the same bad habits. Habit 5 is raising your standards quietly. What I mean by this is that you're not going to announce to the world that you're suddenly a better person. It's human behavior to want to show off what you've achieved. But in doing that, it almost makes it feel performative, like your glow up is for someone else. And this whole process is exactly just for you. So rather than feeling like you've got to post everywhere, you've got to tell everyone, simply step back and understand why you're doing this and who you are doing it for. You're going to stop over explaining everything that you do, every action you do. You don't owe an explanation why, a reason why every single time you do something for yourself. You don't need to announce every time you've made a move, every time you've done something for yourself that's important to you. So remember, discipline is not motivation. Discipline is a skill, and a skill that you have to build. Something that you have to work on every single day, little by little, until it becomes natural for you. And that discipline, that glue, will help you perform the next habits you do, the other skills you build, like confidence and self-love. And it will help you towards becoming a better version of yourself and going on this whole journey of healing. That is all from me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to comment down below and I will try and get back to every single comment. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in the next video. Bye!